Welcome to The Explainer. We're diving straight into a massive shift happening right now in the business world. Today, we're unpacking why the accelerating pace of AI is rapidly breaking traditional business models and how an entirely new enterprise architecture is required to fix it. We are moving far beyond simple technological complexity here. We are entering an era defined by the sheer, relentless speed of change. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of it all, I have a critical question for you about how your company is truly handling the chaos of the AI era. Are you actively adapting and evolving with every new data point? Or are you just treading water and surviving the day-to-day operational shifts? Keep that question in the back of your mind as we go through today's material. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at the AI speed problem, the continuous learning enterprise, the DVMS architecture, adaptive workforce readiness, evolving resilience, and finally, governance as continuous learning. Let's get right into it. Part 1, the AI speed problem, and exactly why traditional models are breaking. AI is literally changing everything, right? But the real monster here isn't the complex tech itself, it's the massive speed of change. Think about it. Traditional enterprise models were comfortably built for nice, slow, predictable changes. They rely heavily on static policies and slow management cycles. But modern AI-driven ecosystems, they're in a constant chaotic state of real-time evolution. They generate operational conditions that shift dynamically. The rigid structures of the past simply cannot hold up under the immense pressure of continuous, autonomous AI evolution. Moving on to Part 2, the continuous learning enterprise, and evolving beyond static reviews. Look, when your environment shifts by the millisecond, relying on static, annual, or even quarterly reviews is like trying to navigate a high-speed freeway using a map drawn last year. It just doesn't work. To keep up, organizations absolutely have to transform into dynamic learning ecosystems. They must continuously sense, understand, adapt, and improve their operations in real time, rather than just sitting back and waiting for a retrospective analysis at the end of the year. Which brings us to Part 3. Enter the DVMS architecture, or as I like to call it, the brain of your enterprise. To really grasp DVMS, we first need to define operational telemetry. You can think of operational telemetry as your organization's nervous system. It's constantly out there sensing and generating enormous volumes of data about what's actually happening in your cloud infrastructure, your security platforms, and your digital workflows right this second. It reflects the true, real-time condition of the enterprise, but historically, all this data has been incredibly fragmented and disconnected. So if operational telemetry is the nervous system feeling the heat of a hot stove, DVMS is the brain that instantly learns to yank your hand away. It acts as a unified governance and assurance system. It creates a continuous intelligence overlay across your entire ecosystem, taking all that fragmented data we just talked about and transforming it into actionable, evidence-driven intelligence. It quite literally operationalizes organizational learning. Part 4, adaptive workforce readiness. It's time to end the dreaded annual compliance module. Picture this scenario. A cloud security misconfiguration occurs. Instantly, in Step 1, telemetry detects the error. Step 2, the DVMS brain analyzes that data. Step 3, it dynamically triggers a targeted, role-specific training module precisely when and where it's needed. And finally, Step 4, the workforce adapts in real time. This creates a continuous, incredibly efficient loop of adaptation instead of making everyone wait for a generic training day 6 months down the line. Why is this such a game changer? Because it completely removes the massive friction of generic educational busywork. By utilizing real-time triggers, things like operational telemetry, governance indicators, and resilience conditions, DVMS ensures that workforce development is highly contextual and entirely evidence-driven. Your teams are learning exactly what they need to know, exactly when the operational reality demands it. Let's pivot to Part 5, Evolving Organizational Resilience, How to Survive and Thrive Under Stress. So, how do we actually thrive under all this operational stress? Well, this quote brilliantly illustrates the core philosophy of DVMS resilience. The goal isn't just to bounce back to where you were. Every single operational stress test, disruption, or incident isn't just a crisis to manage, it's a critical learning opportunity. You don't just recover from disruptions, you evolve because of them. To pull this off, DVMS continuously integrates massive data points, resilience telemetry, operational testing results, incident data, and performance outcomes. By constantly analyzing this, it identifies emerging vulnerabilities and adaptive response patterns across all your dependencies. It literally transforms resilience from a reactive, chaotic cleanup job into a continuously advancing, highly intelligent enterprise discipline. Part 6, Governance as Continuous Learning, Valuing Real-Time Evidence over Isolated Reports. Historically, governance has always assumed a level of operational stability and predictable change cycles. Well, AI completely shatters that assumption. As AI systems become more autonomous, learning on their own and making their own decisions, your governance simply cannot afford to sit still. It must continuously validate these behaviors. It has to monitor algorithmic outcomes and adapt oversight mechanisms in real time. Your governance itself has to become a continuous learning system informed by actual ecosystem feedback. This builds a completely new paradigm for leadership, and the contrast is absolutely staggering. The old way, assumption-based governance, basically has you crossing your fingers and hoping an outdated, isolated retrospective report is somehow still accurate. The new way, DVMS, provides evidence-driven intelligence. It allows leaders to govern based on continuously validated live operational conditions. You are governing based on cold, hard reality, not assumptions.
Finally, our conclusion: the future of the AI-driven enterprise. The pace of change is only going to speed up, and the complexities of cyber-physical environments will only deepen.
Ultimately, as artificial intelligence accelerates digital transformation, the winners won't simply be the ones with the most automation or the flashiest tech. The winners are going to be the organizations with the best continuous learning architecture, the ones that use systems like DVMS to sense, adapt, and improve in real time. So, I'll leave you with this provocative thought to chew on regarding your own organization's readiness for tomorrow. In the age of AI, will your enterprise simply automate, or will it actually learn? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time as we continue to unpack the ideas shaping our world.